I used to rewatch the same Christmas movies every year, and one year I got bored of that, and now each year I try to branch out and find a new Christmas favorite. So here's what I came across on this year's hunt. Number 1, the best Christmas pageant ever. I gave 2 out of 5. Grace is feeling like her community has no faith in her capabilities, so she volunteers to run the town Christmas play. The Herdmans are a group of kids that are supposed to be poor, and the people working on the movie decided to show that by making them always have dirt on their faces, even though they have a house with water. These kids suddenly decide they want to take over the play, so they bully everyone into letting them be the stars, and it ends with everyone moved by their performances. I don't like the idea of being an asshole and getting your way, but it had a few moments that were okay. This played at my local cinema for about 6 weeks, which is a crazy long time for the quality of this movie. Have you seen this? I don't know anyone else who's seen this. Number 2, Red One. I gave 3.5 out of 5. This movie got a lot of hate, and I'm not sure why. I found it really enjoyable. It has similar humor to most Christmas movies. Dwayne Johnson is Santa's bodyguard. When Santa gets kidnapped, Dwayne's character teams up with Chris Evans' character to get Santa back. It was funny, silly, and a good time. Number 3, Babygirl, which I gave 0 out of 5, and I wish I never watched it. This is barely a Christmas movie. It loosely has a Christmas setting. You notice how media is constantly trying to make people mad? I feel like that's what this movie is. They do an age gap relationship, but flip the genders and have the woman be the older one, which is cool, I guess. I guess it adds a little balance to the disturbing amount of grandfather-aged men partnered with college-aged girls in movies. Despite her being over double his age, they still give the guy the power and a disgusting amount of it. He's an intern, specifically requests her as his mentor, then kisses her in a meeting, which, on a date, I suppose a surprise kiss could be warranted if it seemed appropriate. But in a workplace, this is just sexual harassment. Plus, she's married. Later, he sends her a glass of milk at a bar and she drinks it, acting like she's tough shit, when really, she's depressing. And as he leaves, he whispers to her, "Good girl. I just about vomited." He invites her to a hotel room, and she keeps trying to leave. He keeps trying to command her like a dog. She says no a lot, and when she goes in for the kiss, he's all, "Ew, gross, get off me." He doesn't seem to like her when she's too consenting, which is highly wrong and disturbing. This movie should just be called Disturbing. He gets her on her hands and knees and has her crawl over and eat a treat from his hand. If your kink is feet, fine, whatever. If your kink is dehumanizing sexual partners and rape play, then fuck you. Later, he has the audacity to give her a little speech on consent while he's actively blackmailing her into being his little bitch, or he'll have her fired. Blackmail isn't consent either. After he touches her the first time, she sobs. How dare they advertise this as a sexy movie? It is far from that. He has her drink milk from a plate on the floor, which gets milk all over her face, and he licks it off. He doesn't just lick it off either. He weirdly tries to lap it up off of her face like a dog himself. It's so weird. She eventually tells her husband, and he gets pissed, obviously. But it ends with them back together, and she's teaching him how to touch her the way the freaky dog man did. I would never be with someone who cheated on me, but if I did, I sure as fuck wouldn't let them instruct me to do what their plaything had done to them. Before she gets back with her husband, she's talking to her daughter and says he won't take her back, and the daughter says that her girlfriend took her back after she cheated, so not to worry. Her cheating is ruining the lives of her kids too. It's so messed up, but Merry Christmas, you sick fuck. God, I hated this movie. Number 4, Hot Frosty, which I gave 3.5 out of 5. Lacey has jumped from Hallmark over to the Netflix Christmas movie universe, and I love them all. Kathy's husband passed away, and her mom wants her to find someone new. She gifts her the same scarf to help her find him as helped her find her husband. Kathy sees a snowman and wraps the scarf on him, giving it a twinkle in its eyes. The following day, a man finds her, and sure enough, it's the snowman, only now he's turned human. It's a cute story. What if Frosty the Snowman was a romantic comedy? You'd get this. He absorbs information really fast, which is an interesting side effect. The couple falls in love because of course they do. The town all love him too, and fight to save him in the end. He gets thrown in jail on Christmas Eve, nearly dying of heat, which I can relate to a lot. I wish it was constantly 40 degrees Fahrenheit. He gets pulled from the building and put in the snow. He's assumed to be dead, and she kisses him, which doesn't really feel right to me, but okay. Everyone starts leaving, and he jumps up alive, and they kiss and realize he can feel the cold now and must be turning human, so she gifts him a trip to Hawaii. I enjoy this one a lot, but I am left wondering if he still has his snowman power of learning things really fast, which they don't really tell us. Number 5, Carry On. I gave 3 out of 5. Ethan is a TSA agent who dreamt of being a police officer. At work one day, he gets threatened into helping a carry-on get onto a flight. Lots of chaos ensues. His pregnant girlfriend gets threatened. A coworker and boss get killed. He finds out he's not the only one being controlled. It's a little cheesy, as thrillers often are, but I still enjoyed it. My only complaint is that they make the villain so obvious. They put him in a black shirt and a cap. That would stand out a lot at an airport. Taron ran his way through this movie, and I give him many props for that. It ends with him saving the day and impressing the police so much that he becomes one himself. Number 6, Our Little Secret. I gave 3.5 out of 5. Our next Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie. I hope this becomes a tradition like with Lacey. Amanda and Rachel should join in on the fun too, with all these Mean Girls references. Avery and Logan grew up together, dated, and broke up when he awkwardly proposed to her after her mom died and she made plans to move to London. It flashes forward 10 years, and he's dating someone annoyingly young, and Avery's dating someone too. They each go to their partner's family for Christmas, and their new partners are brother and sister, so they're at the same house. Avery cuts in and pressures Logan to pretend that they're strangers. I hate this movie trope. If someone cuts in and tries to make me lie like that, I would not participate. It never works out in the end. Logan and Avery make a deal that she'll help him with a work proposal if he helps get her boyfriend's mom to like her. There's a little brother who finds out and blackmails them into getting him alcohol and picking him up from drinking and things like that. He's only 18. Chaos ensues. Avery's boyfriend cheats on her with his ex who shows up. The siblings' dad cheats with Avery's boyfriend's mistress's mom. I think it ends with the mistress's dad dating the siblings' mom. There's so much to keep track of. Avery's dad is selling her childhood home, not knowing she wants it. Logan sneaks in and tells him, so she ends up buying the house herself. Avery cuts in on Logan's business proposal, which gets him the job. He shows up at her housewarming party. Her dad tries kicking him out, so there's not a repeat of the awkward proposal, but Logan stays, and instead of proposing, he just asks to be with her, and she accepts. It flashes forward, they get married, and it's cute. I'd like this movie more if there weren't a dozen different cheating storylines, but it's still a fun watch. Number 7, An Almost Christmas Story, which I gave 2.5 out of 5. I haven't really felt Christmas much this year, and this movie really feels like Christmas, so I appreciated that. I also enjoyed the animation style. Some scenes looked entirely made out of cardboard, which was fun. Moon is a baby owl who falls from their nest and gets lost in New York City. A little girl is also a bit lost and brings Moon along with her while she tries to find her way. It's a bit sad to me, but true to real life, how this shows how sometimes when you try to help someone, you could actually be making things worse. They end up venturing back to where the owl was found, and then Luna tells a police officer who helps by bringing them near a forest. Moon flies away and finds home where Dad is waiting. I'd rate this higher if it didn't make me so sad and nervous for the baby owl, who almost got crushed repeatedly, but luckily didn't. Number 8, Family Switch. I gave 3 out of 5. Freaky Friday Family Edition. The Walker family isn't getting along too well, and then they all switch bodies, including the baby and the dog, which added some funny baby edits. Being in each other's bodies, they learn how hard each other's lives are, and to love each other. It's silly, it's fun, it's weird, and I enjoyed it. I am confused why a soccer scout would go to their home on Christmas morning to tell the daughter that she's accepted, but okay. The fart jokes are also a bit much for me. I do think this family will need some serious therapy after the brother and sister kissed while in their parents' bodies, which is weird on so many levels. Number 9, Dear Santa. I gave 3.5 out of 5. An 11-year-old named Liam writes a letter to Santa, but he accidentally addresses it to Satan. Jack Black's Satan shows up and offers the kid 3 wishes. The kid wishes for his crush to give him a chance, so Satan pulls some strings and they go to a Post Malone concert and get on stage and backstage. These 11-year-olds who are there by themselves. Where are their parents? Liam sees his friend struggling with teeth issues, so his second wish is to fix his friend's teeth. His parents have been arguing a lot since Liam's little brother died, so his last wish is for his parents to get along again and be happy forever. To get his third wish, he needed to sell his soul to the devil, so he starts being a little asshole. Jack Black returns to the underworld where he offers Liam's soul to the real Satan, because Jack Black was just a demon who was pretending to be Satan the whole time. Real Satan says the deal is null and void because 2 of his wishes were to help other people, so Liam gets his soul back. Jack Black goes back to tell the kid, and he's all, sorry about that, and your wish for your parents to get back together and be happy didn't count since they did that on their own, so I granted the wish from your letter to Santa. Liam goes to the tree Christmas morning and sees his little brother alive and well. It's a cute movie. I thought it was funny. As a kid, I would mix up Satin and Satan all the time, so I'm sure I've probably thrown Santa in there too, so that part's relatable. Post Malone's cameo was great. The guy seems up for anything, and he had fun with it. The little brother reveal at the end made me tear up. The 3 wishes is definitely a huge cliche, but the Satan twist made it fun for me. Number 10, Christmas Cupid. I gave 3 out of 5. If you look too deeply at this movie, it's horrible, but if you have fun with it, it's a good time. Sloane is a busy career woman. Her client Caitlin dies and becomes a ghost who guides her through visits from 3 other ghosts. She runs into her ex Patrick, who asks her out, but she says no because she's currently dating her boss. The visits from the 3 ghosts are supposed to show that she's always trying to trade up guys. I'm not sure why that's the part that they focus on being the bad thing. You should always want to date someone that's better than your exes, although you should try not to compare too much. But if things didn't work out with someone, of course you should try to find someone better next time. Her real problem was that she didn't seem to give her relationships chances to grow. She just packed up her shit and left a note to break up with Patrick after college. In present time, she finds out her boyfriend is cheating on her, so she takes the date with Patrick, which is so fucked up. While at dinner, they nearly kiss, but her boss shows up and he proposes, and she says yes because she's stupid. Never take back a cheater. They have no respect for you emotionally and physically. No matter how safe they think they're being, they could still get AIDS or herpes or something and give it to you and kill you. Just don't be with a cheater. It also says that it's okay to cheat, which it's not. Ghost of Christmas Future shows up and big surprise, it's the cheating asshat and they're divorced because he cheated. Back in the present, she dumps her boss and goes to leave. They're at Caitlin's memorial party, and on her way out, a coworker that she had hooked up with in the past talks to her, and they kind of make peace. And for a second, I thought, oh good, she's gonna end up with this guy, because Patrick deserves so much better. But no, she shows up at Patrick's work while he's on break, and they kiss and make up. Run, Patrick, run! Don't be with a cheater, yes, but also don't be with someone who moved out without telling you and dumped you while you were at class one night. And don't be with someone who goes on a date with you as a rebound and accepts another man's proposal on that same date. Morally, obviously this movie is stupid, but it's so stupid that I really enjoyed it. And it's added to my rewatchable Christmas movie list. The entire time I was hoping that Sloane and Caitlin would end up together instead. They're both a bit messy, and they would have made a great couple. That's all for this year. I really enjoyed most of my finds this year, apart from the nightmare that was Babygirl. I think my favorite was Hot Frosty. It was so fun, lighthearted, very silly. Everything I hope for in a Christmas movie. I probably won't get this up until January, so happy almost Valentine's Day.